Before we start, I would like you to hit that red subscribe button so that you never miss out on any of our videos. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Film Sci. Number 7, The Last Storm. Argilac Durandon, also called the Storm King, gathered the great force of bannermen at Storm's End, and not wanting to be cooked alive in his castle like the horse, led his army into the field against the Targaryens and their allies. Argilac and Aegon's forces clashed in the Stormlands in a battle later called the Last Storm. Aegon eventually triumphed, with his closest friend, Orys Baratheon, cutting down Argilac on the battlefield. Baratheon would wed Argilac's young widow, Lady Argilla, and took Storm's End and the Durandon sigil, a crown stag, as his own. Like the swords of Maidenpool and Duskendale, it can be assumed that the swords of the last Storm King are represented on the Iron Throne. Number 6, The Field of Fire. Determined not to fall under Aegon's heel, two kings of the Western Lands moved to raise a large army. Out of Highgarden advanced King of the Reach, Mern, Ninth of House Gardener, wheeling his units to link up with the forces of Loren Wan Lannister, the King of the Rock. Together, they fielded a host of 55,000 men, the largest army ever seen in Westeros. Meeting on the plains south of the Blackwater, a massive battle ensued between Aegon and the two kings, eventually named the Field of Fire. Aegon was victorious, with King Mern dead and House Gardener extinct. Aegon ordered for the swords of the enemy dead to be gathered and sent downstream to the Aegon Fort. Having lost little more than 100 men, King Lannister retreated and bent the knee to Aegon the following day, which then led Aegon to make Loren Lannister I the Lord of Casterly Rock and Warden of the West. 5. The Making of the Iron Throne. In the sprawling ancient world of George R.R. Martin's Game of Thrones universe, the author allows for the processes of time to change and blur facts, which become legend. How Aegon the Conqueror had the Iron Throne made differs in the fictional folklore songs and the histories. In the songs, the Iron Throne consisted of 1,000 blades melted into the chair by Dragonflame from Aegon's dragon Balerion. In the histories, the scribes record that Aegon had the Iron Throne constructed by craftsmen. Author George R.R. Martin describes it as massive, ugly, asymmetric, a throne made by blacksmiths hammering together half-melted, broken, twisted swords. 4. Only the swords of the defeated. The swords of the Westerosi houses who bent the knee to Aegon, such as House Stark, House Lannister, and House Arryn, were not included in the Iron Throne. Readers of Fire and Blood know that House of Dragons Aegon was an insightful ruler, adding only the swords of his enemies defeated on the battlefield to the throne. He did so to reinforce the reality of their submission to Targaryen rule. The houses who had done the honorable thing and surrendered wholesale to Aegon and his dragons were allowed to keep their lands and titles and were richly rewarded for their fealty. Number 3. Seat Thyself Lightly. King of the Seven Kingdoms. The wise Aegon wanted to make certain that both he and his descendants understood the perils of ruling the Seven Kingdoms by designing a throne where the occupant cannot relax, saying a king should never rest easy. Festooned with jagged metal and curling blades, the Iron Throne requires the sitter to perch lightly, straight-backed and wary. The back of the chair is lined with sharp points of metal, and the arms hold a riot of sharp points and edges. Even being cautious, a number of Targaryen royals have been slashed by the throne. King Viserys I Targaryen stumbled and cut his hand to the bone, and 2 fingers ultimately had to be amputated to stave off infection. Later Game of Thrones era characters who might have deserved the Iron Throne would have done well to think twice about taking it. Number 2. Who can sit upon the Iron Throne? Although the mighty Targaryen-designed throne in Blood and Fire is reserved for the reigning king, other usurpers do find their way to the prickly but coveted seat. In House of the Dragon, all of these sitters will likely be the powerful Targaryens. Regents may not use the throne, but the hand of the king has the right to the perch if the king is away. Powerful Targaryen women have also ruled from the Iron Throne. Aegon I Targaryen's 2 powerful sisters/wives, Queen Rhaenys Targaryen and Queen Visenya Targaryen, both made use of the seat. And Queen Rhaenyra Targaryen claims the throne after taking King's Landing during the Dance of the Dragons. Whether this will also be translated on screen is something only time will tell. Number 1. The Iron Throne as Executioner. If the legends are to be believed, it is whispered that the Iron Throne possesses the ability to execute its occupant. King Maegor I Targaryen was discovered dead upon the Iron Throne, with his arms and body covered in severe wounds and injuries. Even though there were plenty of nefarious characters in the vicinity who might have carried out an assassination, many courtiers believe it was the throne itself that eliminated Maegor. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.